98 Toyota Sienna. Let me snatch up a light. Ooh, can't reach. People gonna go ballistic because I didn't take the key out. Frankly, I thought it was going to quit dinging. So 4-1, ladies and gentlemen, pay close attention to the tie rods, and this is going to answer the question. All right, so there's one. So both inner tie rods are gone. So this one, let me see if I can do something with it. With the camera, that is. I don't know if this is going to work out or not. We're going to try and see what we can see here. Alright, so that should be a pretty good shot right there. And I have to do this with an extension or something like that because I can't get my fingers in the way. So this is the reason, if you don't know how, you shouldn't be doing it at home. Now let me grab this. That's actually not the ball joint that's not the ball joint bad. That is the sheer fact that this nut is not been, the thing has never been tightened up. It was way too loose, therefore it messed up. We got a CV axle here that ain't got no boot left on it. Honestly, I didn't see that. I didn't tell the customer about that. But we need to tell the customer about that. And last but not least, it's a little bit hard to do with the, wait a minute, oh shoot, I gotta zoom you back out. Sorry, I gotta zoom you back out. Last but not least, like I said, we'll make this video here and let the customer know that video exists. So watch this. Now this is a combination of ball joint, lower ball joint, plus the tie rod end. Unfortunately, the tie rod end is not holding steady, but if you look close, you can see the assembly wiggle on the bottom. The very bottom part of the rotor. All right, so that ball joint is gone. Oh, don't walk to the wet. Moose. Moose, don't walk to the wet. Or don't listen. Now right there, let me make sure you can see this. I'm sure you can see this. You can see if I can see. All right, so we got that right there. Got the boot torn, the CV axle boot torn on that side as well. The inners are good. Like I said, we've got this loose. Ball joint on the bottom on this side here does not appear to be loose. And then the ball joint, or the outer tie rod end, is not bad on this side here. The nut on the stabilizer strut, it is not tight. So anyway, in a nutshell, that's what we're doing. Rather than me telling you what the complaint is, I'll show you what the complaint is. I'll show you what my complaint is anyway. So that's a fairly simple, straightforward fix. So anyhow, you see we done some brakes on this thing here. We done. Let me back up. That's I'm using slang. I should. Somebody did some brakes here. You know, I don't know who did them. Don't matter. I'm just pointing stuff out that I can see. You know, that's what we generally do. These struts have been replaced, but I can tell you, whatever struts they are, they're completely gone. They're goners. I mean, there's no kind of shock action at all. Anyway, let me pause you up, put this old battery on the charger right quick, because I have got to make a run for some parts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so anyway. well, I guess what I want to do is show you on this side. The other side got the toolbox and everything sitting there. It's easier to do it on this side here. Remove your cotter pin. That kind of should go without saying, hopefully anyway. Remove it as I showed you earlier. What in the world we got going on over here? Man, sorry about that. All right, so where we're at. Right here is where we're at. So obviously this is the one that was loose. So this thing here is just entirely too loose. You're going to want to make sure that you have some kind of pressure on. I'll show you. I can't explain it. I'll show you. All right, so we use a wrench here. I'm going to lay it up against that. Oh, never mind. That was the other side. I'm going to have to go backwards to go forward. Hopefully we can break that. Well, here we go. That'll hold it right there. So we'll. All right, right there. So we'll hold it right there, lean it against this, and then we can hopefully break this nut loose. Now the trick is on this right here, you don't want to completely remove that or back it off. You don't need to. There's no need in doing that. You want to leave that sitting like it is. That's what we're going to measure. So you spin it off, and making sure the nut stays in place. If there is a concern that this might move, which it does not, it's frozen. So frozen in this case here is good. So we can get a good measurement on that. But the actual ball joint itself, it's not hurt, it's not bad. A lot of this has been replaced. They just did a poor job putting this on. So take your clamp off the boot. Boots are stiff. I actually went and got my gas grill and put it in here. It's clean, so it don't smoke up the room, but I actually got it, so help warm things up. It was pretty cool in here, and the heater keeps kicking on. It's pretty frigid outside right now, so we got a little bit extra to get that boot softened up. Leave one of them picks here. We're going to work to loosen us up a little bit. And that popped out then. Did the camera see this? Sorry about that. A lot of times I don't see what you see and what you don't see. But anyway, this pretty much popped off. What needs to happen now is we need to get into that clamp that's in the back and try to loosen it up. I'm going to try to loosen it to where I can reuse it. I don't want to replace it unless I absolutely have to. Not trying to be mean, but obviously you can judge that we're not going to want to spend a whole heck of a lot of money on this. Well, that one is right there. If I remember this correctly, one of them I'm going to be able to get off, and the other one I'll have to have a tool. If memory serves, you're going to want a long screwdriver next. The little tab's got to be folded. I was fixing to say, is that grease? No, surely not. Don't go crazy wailing on that. There's no need in that. We're going to make sure that we don't stress the rack. That would be counterproductive. Remember, there's gearing and stuff in there. You don't want to stress it. Actually, what I should have done is lower the vehicle down a little bit because it really is a little bit too high. You're probably like, listen to this guy complaining about being on the rack, right? I'm going to have to put my noggin in the way. Can you see that? If worn out would be a thing, that's worn out. I mean, it's really, really bad. And I don't know that I can. Actually, let's see. The reason I'm doing it is so I don't have to slip the boot off right now, because I really don't want to move the nut right now. It's a better measurement to measure standing up on a flat surface and then do your measuring than it is to measure the end here. There's no guarantee that the tire dents that I bought are the exact length of these right here. Let me pause you up because you kind of won't see anything because I need to stand right there where you're looking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie, I feel a little bit stupid because somehow, somewhere, I have lost my little pipe wrench. But what I normally do is I've got a small pipe wrench that you can lay in the void up here or anywhere and then just take a bar and pop it, and normally you get them loose right away. You can latch onto them with vice grips as well, but the pipe wrench is, I mean, really simple. So that's the crush washer. You want to bend it over. It's got fingers in it to hold it in place. But anyway, that should theoretically come with the new one. Here's some of the material that is laying right there in the boot. And to show you what I meant by measuring them, bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Only move so fast. Plastic, more plastic. There's our new little washer. The fingers face toward the inside, like so. Just to tell you that. So what I mean by measuring is, well, let's go over here. Get you down a little bit. Sorry about the light. So what I mean by that is measure like this. So we want to make sure that these are standing next to each other. And as you can see right there, well, I don't know if the camera is able to see it, that is ever so slightly longer than the other one. So I'm going to kind of bend over here, sit that up on the table like this, make sure that the bottoms are the same. The bottoms are the same, they're the level. Well, let's get the tops to a level right there. Okay. So this is leveled up now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take black tape and tape around it, or, well, any tape. Don't have to be black tape, but any tape. We'll go around it and we'll mark it. That way we are, quote unquote, relatively close to where it was. Now, I did tell the customer I would highly recommend an alignment because that's what you're supposed to do. Now, whether or not the customer is going to do that, that is up to them. On one hand, I wish I had a shop that was big enough to do alignments. On the other, I don't know that I really want the headaches that can come along with an alignment machine. So now that I got this marked with some black tape, we can take the nut off. Our boot should slip right over. You have to make sure that the washer stays in there. All right, that looks good. I'm sorry for the dinging, guys. I should have took the key out of it because I leave the vehicles in neutral normally. And I really should have took the key out of it. Normally they quit dinging when you take the door, shut the door, take the door off. washer. Bear with me, folks, and we'll pause you up. Going back on, you can rent a tool from just about all the automotive places. Surely you all know how to use that. You find the appropriate size, slip it on, slip the tube on, tighten it up. No big in there. Now we gotta fold our washer that needs to sit flush in the back. Like I said, the two tangs that are on there, they need to be in the groove. This one here is. We'll find something to pry up against. Always find a spot somewhere that I can pry on. These don't take a whole lot to fold. Get them headed in the right direction anyway. Remember, folks, easy does it on that as well. You are working on a steering rack. Now keep in mind, if you can't get to one of them, you got one of them folded pretty good. That generally is enough. When you hit it with the hammer, make sure you don't hit the rack itself. I'm going to call that one right there good enough. Like I said, we can work on a boot. Boot, basically, it's going to be a pain in the neck to get the clamp back on, but it is what it is. That's what we got to do. I'm not going to film that part to keep down on the size of the video. So I'm going to work on that, trying to get that boot back on there. Just a slight little update. Funny, that tie rod over there is also bent. Bent pretty good, actually. Turning it out, I got the nut pinched in the vise. Turning it is woo, woo. Lovely. Now, sometimes people use these little 1/4 inch clamps, the screw clamps. And I personally don't see anything wrong with that. Whoops. Sometimes people use these instead, depending on what side it is. On this particular one here, on this side here, it would be easy to do this. On the other side, not so much. This one we can get to, and this part don't never move, so it's definitely okay to do so. It's good and tight. Slide it in its groove. Put it onto the tape, all the while leaving the tape in place. Important not to get over the tape. Right there. And to be clear, this in no way substitutes the alignment. I'm just trying to get this thing to where it is as close as I can get it. And maybe that's a bad thing, you know, maybe I should set it off to where they have to get an alignment, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I ran out of memory card. Normally I run out of battery. This time I literally ran out of memory card. But anyway, where this ended was I was messing around tightening this up. So what I did here, of course, I jammed this up, got it turned the right way, and this time we actually ended up tightening the ball joint real good, and put the cotter key back in it, bent it up, and that's basically essentially how I do it here in the shop. That's how I've always done them. Never had a problem. You know, sometimes I got to tell people that, look, that's how I do it. Never had a problem. Works great for me. But anyway, to each their own. So like, subscribe, comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think, what you would do different, whatever. You know, we take all comments. We'll see you on the next one. A little bit of a bonus. I'm going to actually add this for the customer. So, see the big hole? This one ain't nowhere near as bad as the other one, but it's bad nonetheless, and that's all reason for the steering being bad. Here's your boot, busted. So, all the way around. So this thing here needs CV axles. Anyway, figured I'd add that in there. Oh, I'm gonna add one other thing. If you need to, like this side here, with the pliers that I got right now, this is not going to work. This would work perfect with a pipe wrench, with the short pipe wrench that I have, if I knew where it was at, but the pliers are not going to work. So in this case now, I'm going to do the same trick on this nut right here. I'm going to have to go ahead and tape it first, then pull the boot, and have to measure it like that. That's all I got. I'm not going to fiddle around with this too long, you know. Got to get done at some point in time.